Hello and welcome to Whitney D TV. If you are new to the channel, click that subscribe button and notification bell. Move it from personalized to all so you can receive all notifications. Head on over to the community tab and join the conversation. Welcome. Let's get into it, shall we? I'm just saying. Hello you guys and welcome to the channel. If you're new, don't be. Go ahead and click that subscribe button to be a part of the Witness gang, to join the Witness Nation. Let's go. All right you guys, so yeah, okay, clap to Jada Pinkett and the Smith, okay? I'm giving a little side eye, but I'll tell you why, okay? But before we get into that, because you know the streets, YouTube, everybody and mama is talking about the whole red table talk with Jada Pinkett Smith and her husband, Will Smith. However, let me tell you how this works, okay? So I initially saw Armand Wiggins say that, you know, Jada Pinkett admits the affair with August Alsina, right?
And so they were just kind of done together, and he was at a point where he was like, all right, girl, this is the last straw. Like, you really tried it. So I don't know if there was cheating. I don't know if there was an addiction of some sort. But obviously there was a lot of lies and a lot of trust being broken. And they also talked about they were a type of relationship.
Right. And so I saw the red table talk and I was like, I want to hear it and see it for myself before I see what somebody else has to say about it, because I knew that I was going to do some commentary about it, because, you know, I just came to you guys with like, what, 2-3 videos about this topic. And so I was like, okay, so let me just, you know, get it for myself. So I scramble over to Red Table Talk. And so I see this 45, like 30 something, almost 45 minute red table talk that she had with Will Smith. And unbeknownst to me, I'm just, you know, clicking just to try to get the gist. And really, it wasn't the clip that he was talking about.
Do you feel like you are appreciated as a father?
That was a very difficult time for our family. Divorce was the ultimate failure for me.
I did not have a good time.
I'm gonna have to walk this one off.
You're really a great father.
So you ready to train? You ready to learn how to act?
Did you cut your hair? How'd you do it? That's beautiful makeup. Oh, man.
Happy Father's Day.
He was talking about. I ended up having to go back into the video and see what he was talking about. He was like, it was a 12-minute clip, but not for nothing. I actually looked at the whole video, the Father's Day video episode that she had with Will. And if you haven't seen that one, you need to take a look at it, okay? Because initially going in, she's sitting on the couch. They didn't do a red table this time. They did a couch. And so they were sitting on the couch, and I guess Will was late. And so she was like, what time is it? I think there was like 6:01 or 9:01 or something like that. And she was like, he's a minute late. And she was like... She looked agitated. Now, I'm not a big fan of people being late. It irritates my bones. But when it's my husband, it's just kind of like, you know, it kind of came off to me as if she didn't know the cameras were rolling type of situation. Because her rebuttal for him being late, if you will, was just like, disgusted, okay? She looked rather disgusted about the whole thing, okay? Oh, before I go any further, let me give a shout out to Lips and Lashes by Shea Cosmetics. This color that I have on my lips is Plum Crazy. And if you're interested in the color, go ahead and click the link in the description box down below. She's actually running a special on her matte lipsticks, and this one is no different. Lips and Lashes by Shea Cosmetics. Lips and Lashes by Shea Cosmetics is way more than its namesake. From primers, mascaras, eyeshadows, foundations, lippies, lashes, and so much more. For that fierce look you can't find anywhere else, Lips and Lashes by Shea Cosmetics. Tell them Whitney from Reviews with Whitney D sent you. you click the link below and use my discount code, you will get it a discount at checkout. Okay, let her know Whitney D of Whitney D TV sent you by clicking the link down in the description box below, and as well you can check out all my brand affiliates down below. They are all black owned businesses. Just wanted to put that in there. Now let's continue. So I was just like, oh snap. So I initially was like, okay, this must be it, because the way it started, she was just agitated. And then whenever they got sitting down, the producer was like, can y'all scoot closer? Can y'all sit in? It was like she was sitting like this and then had her clipboard right here, and then Will was over here. And I was just like, that's awkward. Whenever I'm sitting by my husband, I'm just like, hey, but you know, it was just kind of just weird to me, like the vibe. You know, the vibe was just very weird to me, and I was just like, it was uncomfortable, okay? Because, like, bump that clipboard. She didn't even pick up the clipboard. She didn't even glance at the clipboard at all. So I'm just kind of like, well, maybe she's trying to keep a distance, you know? And when you do situations like that, like I do that with, like, guys that I know get a little too touchy, too close, so I'll keep some distance between us. And it just came off like she don't want to disrespect her man. I'll put that out there. Yeah, I don't know, Jada. You got some explaining to do. So I was just like here for. I was like, okay, you know, I'm looking at them, listening to it any moment now. They're gonna talk about it. They never talked about it. Okay, so I had the video clip wrong. However, I do want to touch some topics that Will and Jada discussed on this Red Table Talk, and that I want to get into the Red Table Talk that we all came to this video for. Okay, but nonetheless, it was the Father's Day episode, right? And he made a point to say, he said not the father that, he said that he was not the father that tosses a baseball, you know, that went to PTA meetings, that was there every game and this and the third. And I was just like, wow. And I turned to my mom, because my mom was here watching. And I was like, wow, I would think Will Smith would be that dad. And he's like, he was not that dad. I would think he would be that dad that be at every football game and, you know, coaching his kid on. And, you know, he was like, no, I'm that dad that, like, I want to build, like, empires with you. I want to grow with you. And it just goes back to what you've been taught as a kid. You know, clearly he didn't get that from his parents, you know, or his parent, meaning his father, you know what I'm saying? So I was just kind of like, whoa, taken back when I heard back about that. And that's why I kind of notated that. Then he also said this, and I was like, this is awesome. This is very pivotal. He said, mothers, actually Jada said this, mothers want to protect their children from suffering, and then fathers want to teach the child to endure the suffering. I said, oh my God, like, that's me. Like, I mean, I have the experience of having both a daughter and a son, and I've noticed that I mean, just as well as I was with my daughter, and I mean, I didn't want her to scrape the ground without me just, ooh. And so with my son now, he's 2, but I'm still the same way, like, ooh, you know. And my husband is just like, you gotta let him fall, you know, you gotta let him fall, and you gotta let me get on him. And I'm just like, no. And we just had this conversation. I was telling him, I was like, I'm not trying to be rude or anything like that, but the thing is that I am protective, you know, and it has nothing to do with I don't trust him with his kids or nothing like that. I've not only lost children, but you know, I guess that's what that is. God placed that instinct in us to be nurturers, to be, you know, protectors, if you will, you know, mama bird, you know, mama bear, if you will. And then dad is those that, you know, kind of teach them, you know, a way about things, you know. And so I was just like, wow, that was awesome for them to say that. And so then this is what Will said, and this was what was pivotal to me. He said, mothers have to make room for fathers to be fathers. And it has nothing to do, and it shouldn't be contingent off of if they're flawless or not. Because I'm not. You know, I'm flawed. I'm subject to flaw, and I'm subject to error. And I was just like, oh my God, that's major. And that's the reason why we have so much the baby mama drama, if you will, because it's just like, oh, I don't like the girl that you with. You're not gonna see your kid. Oh, I couldn't be with you, so you're not gonna be with your kid. Oh, you're doing this, so I'm not gonna let you be with your see your child. You know, now if this father is exemplifying some abusive behavior, some mental disorders and things of that nature, understood. But if this guy is trying to be a father to the child, has had no history of violence or anything to that nature, but you don't like the chick that he's with, or you're saying that he moved too fast, or you're jealous of this or that, it is not cool. And I've always been big on this because I've seen an example of it. And to be honest with you, like my father was on child support. After my parents got divorced, they negotiated, you know, what was fair in regards to finances. But, you know, it was never just a thing that was placed in the court's hands to distribute anything. They discussed it amongst themselves. I remember for a while, I didn't even know I had, my stepsister had her on mother and father and things to that nature, because I was just like, no, because we were just all one unit, all one village, trying to just, you know, move about things, you know. So it's just kind of like nowadays it's just so, it's so contingent to things, you know. And I'm big on, like, I even told my husband one day, you know, this was years back or whatever, when we just had Demi, but I was like, if anything ever happens to where we have to go our separate ways, I'm not putting you on child support. And I said, because I'm gonna do what I need to do. I'm a hustler as a woman, I mean as a mother. The thing is that you need to hold your part up by being a father, and me putting child support on you ain't gonna make you be a father. At the end of the day, you either gonna do what you're gonna do or you're not. And that child is gonna be the one that's gonna suffer for that, but that child's gonna be the one that's gonna take recognition of that. We have to give these children way more credit, because I remember things. I remember if my father said he was gonna come and he didn't. Or I remember, you know, looking in the stands and not seeing my parents there, or whatever the case may be. We are not dumb as children. So why do we think our children are dumb when they have to go through things? You know what I'm saying? When I tell you I talk to my daughter about everything, I mean, and it's funny because I was in the comments talking to one person, actually DM, and they were just talking about, you know, their physical sexual abuse. And I was telling her, I was like, I talked to Demi about everything. She's 5, but she knows her private parts. She knows that they are hers alone. She would check me if I pop her on the butt and be like, no, mama, you know, and it starts there. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is that I feel as though we don't give children I can't find the word for it. We don't give them that smartness that they possess, you know, because even the Bible says, out of the mouth of babes, if you come to Christ, be of you know, spirit, have the spirit of a child. You know what I'm saying? So children aren't dumb, you know. But anyways, so I thought that was very pivotal, you know what I'm saying, in the sense of mothers. Let these fathers be the fathers that they need to be to their children, period. You know, period. You move out the way. You may not like who he's with, but that's none of your concern. What does that have to do with the betterment of your child? Period. If anything, if I don't like an individual, I'm going to try to work with this person to get them on the same page as me. And if not, then we can discuss that when that comes about. But otherwise, you're in this man's life, and I'm going to have to keep it pushing. Whatever.
Shazazz Creations is a virtual boutique for creative customized apparel, tumblers, and jewelry. Allow them to create a keepsake that you can use as a heirloom for centuries to come. Everything from blankets to pillows, allow your memories to come alive with every picture. Tell them Whitney D from Whitney D TV sent you. Use the Whitney D code or link in the description box below. Bye.
Okay, now, as I stated, that was the first video that I saw, and it was some great nuggets that I took from it. Okay, and so now I go back over to Armand Wiggins' show, because he was the first that actually broke everything, to be honest with you. He was the first video that I saw that said something to the extent that, you know, Jada admitted or was talking out about it. Then you had everybody else rolling out, and then, you know, you had Tasha K or whatever just released hers. I honestly was not, but I was like, no, because I was talking about this topic, and now we have somebody, you know, discussing it. I'm going to talk about it. Child. I'm going to take these glasses off of this, and y'all can talk about my caca all y'all want, baby. I'm just saying, that's due for the Smiths. okay, for Jada and Will. Now, I looked at a little bit of Tasha K, and Tasha K was like, you know, Will forced her to do it and X, Y, and Z to keep up his image. I don't care. They did it. Okay, and that's very admirable in the sense of, I don't know what other, I mean, Bill Clinton couldn't even be honest, okay, and say what he did. You know what I'm saying? So I just, oh my gosh, this was awesome. You know what I'm saying? And I bet you Austin, oh gosh, here I go, y'all. August Alsina is like, yes, right now. Feeling vindicated right now, okay? So let's get into this whole red table talk. Jada placing herself at the red table, y'all. Man, if you have not seen it, please stop, okay? Stop right here. Take your time out and go on over to see Red Table Talk, okay? Now, before we get into it, I wanted to head on over to some key points, okay? So while this all was going on, I was looking out to see if August had anything to say about it. I've been watching him for some days now, and I hadn't seen him say anything or whatever the case may be. This was his last post. I want to say a few days ago, a day or so ago, and you'll see it on here. But this is what August had to say before, after coming out with the interview and a whole backlash and things of that nature. This is what he said. Me this year versus me this time last year. A nigga or a N-word was about to kick the bucket. Laugh out loud. I've tasted and toyed with death. Therefore, I want to live a life purposeful with intentions and no regret. One thing that's certain is we are all living to die. Death, we should fear not. Fear being alive while dying and being dead inside. So create the life you see fit for yourself. Autonomy. Will it hurt? Yes. Will you be hated and create enemies along the way? Yes. Yet if there's no enemy within, the enemy outside can do us no harm. Will you fail and fall at times? Yes. Experience all sorts of spiritual warfare, witchcraft. And people talk about you. Yep. That too. You gonna hear all type of things said about you. Throw it behind you. Get back up. Dust it off. Keep it moving. And forever strive to live your soul, not a role. Period. Okay. And so that's what August had to say in regards to coming out with the interview and everybody and their mama having to say what they had to say, right? And so then Jada posts this to segue to the Red Table Talk, right? Here's to the journey, and this is what she said. I brought myself to the table last week, but decided to hold the episode out of respect for the far more important situations that have been happening around us. I've been trying to wait for the appropriate moment to drop it, but considering the state of the world, I don't think that will be happening anytime soon. Here's to the journey, link in my bio, and let's get into it, okay? If you have not seen this clip and you care not to, you're coming here for the depiction. When I tell you Will Smith was so tense in this moment, y'all. He was just kind of like, gonna tell how you messed up. It was just like, oh my goodness. And I was not expecting so much transparency. Let's just get into it. And these are my notes that I took. Never said anything to the media. Okay, they purposely did that because they wanted to deal with it. And I think, to be honest with you, they weren't expecting for August to get much traction. Okay, y'all remember a year back he kept throwing little nuggets and stuff out there, but nobody was picking up. They were like, oh, he's Looney Tune. Clearly he wasn't. And then, you know, here recently he did the interview, you know. And so the thing is that I don't think they thought, again, it was going to get much traction. But it did, okay? And so I don't think if he never would have kept it up, it would have just been brush up under the rug, right? So they said that they never said anything to the media, okay? They never talked to them, okay? So then she goes into it because Will was like, okay, you dancing too much around this topic. They need to know what happened, how it started, like what's good, like, you know. And then he looked like he want to know, you know what I'm saying, too, okay? So she goes on to say 4 years ago, initially, it was about his health. And the family was all involved because he was a family friend. Ooh, don't it be those ones. It be your friends that you allow in your family and sneak up on you and get with your man, get with your wife. You know what I'm saying? Like, But anyways, it was, you know, it was just because of his health, okay? And so, and it's funny because I said that, y'all remember in the video, I said it wasn't supposed to be like that. It wasn't supposed to be like that. They got close in the midst of her being Mrs. Fix-It, okay? She did not do what she was set to do in his life. She tainted that. See, sometimes God will reveal individuals to us in their anguish, their issues, if you will. But it's not for us to then take advantage of that situation by making him, basically, she wasn't supposed to make him her man. Okay? She was supposed to be that mentor, be that person that was there for him, be that person that was supposed to show him a way out. She could have did all those things without jumping on his pink. Okay? I do understand why. All right, but the thing is, and all honestly or whatever, the thing is that she missed it. Okay, and I feel like that happens in a lot of situations, but if you look at it at the end of the day, some of those relationships dwindle out because people miss it. Okay, you're not supposed to turn that little boy into your lover, you know what I'm saying? And especially with you being married, you know what I'm saying? So the thing is that I think she missed the ball. It was more so for her to mentor him and get him back, you know, into a space to where he could trust, like he said, he had an interest for humanity. And I feel that she was supposed to be that motherly figure to him, but she tainted that. She came in and she misconstrued the whole situation. Fix it, okay? And when you got that spirit that's more so of a male, because male of the male are the dominant individuals that are a majority of the ones that want to fix things. God placed it in them to fix us. We're the ones that pay close attention to detailing and things of that nature. But men are like, what, okay, you crying, but how can I fix it? Okay, so when you play that dominant role on you, this is what you get. Okay, Jada comes off as that dominant, you know, she has that dominant male energy, you know what I'm saying? So she was trying to fix August, and you know, God is the only one that can fix him. Okay, you should cast all his cares to the Lord. You have your own husband to focus on. But anyways, so they discussed the fact of the matter that they had issues, marital issues. They thought this was the end. They were separated. They knew they were getting a divorce. X, Y, and Z. Play the violin. And if you don't know, I don't care to excuse my French too about people doing this separation while you're married. You're still married. Okay, you're still married. So at the end of the day, if you're not going to do it right and divorce this person, don't play with it. You're still married. And if you see, and even what they said, she was like, you know, we thought it was the inevitable. We thought, you know, but we end up coming right back together because that happens. You have a fit, you have a situation, you feel like, whoa, it's me, and then y'all end up working this stuff out and coming back together. That's why you don't want to get other people's emotions and other people involved when you're separated or in between things, because those people that you bring in have feelings, have emotion, have heart, and you are just trying to figure something out and trying to, you know, get this partner or this individual out your head, and they're really falling in love with you. You know, prime example, August. He was really falling in love or fell in love with Jada, and Jada was just trying to have a good time. But anyways, Will said, and I quote, "I was done with your ass." When I tell y'all, I've never seen Jada so uncomfortable. I've never seen her so uncomfortable. And it made me rethink some things that I've said about her. Because if y'all remember, I was the one that was like, I think Will love her more than Jada. I think he loves Jada more than Jada loves him. But I don't know, y'all. She was so uncomfortable. Like, she was so, I mean, it could be true. It could be very well still the case or whatever. But she was squirming and squirming and dancing and stuff like that. It was just so weird. It was so weird. But for him to have that energy, like that arrogant, cocky energy, I was just like, whoa. I looked back at my mom like, there's some tea getting spilled. Well, we don't drink tea, and I don't drink wine over here. I drink Kool-Aid. I might spike it from time to time, but Kool-Aid. Speaking of which, I'm gonna give y'all this recipe that I discovered like over the weekend with 1800 coconut and raspberry lemonade Kool-Aid. Okay, you gonna thank me for it later. But anyways, and it goes on to say, you know, they were separated, and I hate when people use that. Y'all was still married, boo. So at the end of the day, because she was like saying that, you know, she felt like August didn't want to put it, didn't want to come off as if he was a home wrecker, and she was like, and he wasn't. You didn't wreck the home. The home was already wrecked, but you didn't come into a new one, nigga. It was somebody already that just kind of, you know, decided to exit, nigga. Okay? You weren't a home wrecker, true enough. But you was Mr. Pipe Man. You was Mr. Plumber. Because you wasn't a resident in there. You was a contract worker, nigga. Okay? So we're not going to play these little games and stuff. We were separated. And he was not a home wrecker. He wasn't a home wrecker, but he was invading privacy. Okay, you was anyways, I hate when people use that. These little breaks that you have while you're married, we were separated type of situation. It's like, it's weird. But okay, whatever makes you feel good. Will looked as though he was not feeling it. He was looking like, you know. And so that's why I kind of do get where Tasha K, you know, got the bit of information that, you know, he forced her, because he was sitting back kind of like, get this out, go on and get it out, girl, go on and tell them what you did. But in the back of my gut, I'm just like, nigga, it wasn't just her. Y'all was both doing y'all dirt. They just looked like they just were not connected at all, y'all. They looked like they got that love, like, oh, I love you because you're the father, you're the mother of my child type of situation. But it wasn't like that passionate love. Now, I'll be upset at my husband sometimes. I can't stand his behind sometimes, but people can still see the love there for us. Like, you know, and even around people, baby, I'll be all up on mine because I may be mad at him, but chick, you not gonna get him. Okay? Anyways, at the end of it, he stated something that I think a lot of people miss. Well, I don't know, because even Armand peeped it. She was like, you know, they was slapping each other up. And he says, I'm going to get you back.
Dude, I wish that wasn't the case.
I sure wish it could be all magic and miracles.
Yeah. You got to go through some to get the answers. Mm-hmm. You know, and I'm just happy because I definitely believe that you and we never, ever, ever thought that we would make it back.
Yeah, there's a real power in the just knowing somebody's riding with you no matter what.
Yeah.
And you really can't know that
until you go
through some stuff, you know. I don't want to go through this no more.
Yeah, no, I don't either.
Yeah. I'm going to get you back first, and then...
You going to get me back. I think you got me back. I think we're good on that, okay?
Okay, that's probably true.
You know, but and I don't think it's about getting anybody back.
No, for me it is.
Okay, I'll give you that petty. If that's what you want. But you know, I will definitely say it's just part of it.
Yeah.
You know, if you expect to be with somebody for a lifetime.
25 years and counting.
We ride together.
We die together.
Bad marriage for life.
Anything.
And I didn't believe you.
Yeah.
If somebody looked through a crystal ball and said, this, and this is going to happen, I'd be like, no way.
Yeah. You thought I was that I didn't have the girth that it was going to take to ride with you through.
Yeah. I didn't know if you would be willing to find the deep capacity to love me.
Yeah. How am I doing?
You're doing great. Yeah. You're awesome.
And they they laughed, and she was like, "Don't you think you did enough of that?" I was like, okay. And then he was like, "Oh no, I'm gonna get you back." And she was like, "Okay," something about this petty stuff. Where I was like, "Do they not know the cameras were watching?" It was just so awkward. But it was so real. It was so good. It was so good. It was good. It was good. And I'm just proud of the Smiths having the balls, the cojones, okay? The courage to come and present themselves to the world when they didn't have to, okay? They didn't have to. They didn't have to say nothing. They could have kept it pushing and ignored August and just made whatever you believe. They've never addressed, well, they have. To be honest with you, they've addressed everything. Although, if we don't believe it or not, they addressed the swinger situation. They addressed a lot of situations, the Scientology situation or whatever, you know. They address a lot of things, you know, be it if we believe it or not, you know, they address things. So, but I just didn't think this was going to be one that was addressed because it's more so personal, you know, and I'm just like, it was golden because I'm just like, wow, like, oh my goodness, like it really happened. And the way it happened, I was just like, that was weird. That was awkward. I felt like I was watching my parents kind of tell us that, hey, we've been doing this, that, and the third. We're going to get a divorce. But to see them at the end of it say that they still together, going to work things out, I'm just like, I don't know, you guys. That's the video. Tell me what you think down in the comments below. Did you get to watch either one of the Red Table Talks that I discussed? Tell me what you think down in the comments below, and we'll discuss everything there. And take a look at all of my brand affiliates. They're all Black-owned businesses. Thank you so very much. This has been Whitney D with Whitney D TV. Bye.
I am happy to say that I am a brand ambassador of Noel. Noel is handcrafted, no harsh chemicals, scrubs, oils, soaps, and more. Quality skincare at affordable prices. Check them out and let them know that Whitney D of Whitney D TV sent you by using either my code Whitney30 at checkout or the link in the description box below. Welcome to Embrace Pangea. These products are all created to bring you back to balance through nature's gifts. They have a wide range of products that deal with various aspects of daily life, such as deodorants, juices, clothing, vagina detoxes, and body scrubs. Whichever product that you decide to embrace, you can rest assured that it was created with love for the betterment of self. Embrace your Pangea. Visit the link in the description box below and let them know that Whitney D of Whitney D TV sent you. Bye. So yeah, so check out the site embracepangea.com and embrace your Pangea. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for tuning into the show. Now it's your turn. We want to hear from you. But remember, keep it cute or get the boot. Let's talk in the comments down below. Check out all our sponsors and affiliates in the description box. And don't forget to join the Witness Nation by clicking the subscribe button. Thank you. Until next time, this is Whitney D with Whitney D TV. Signing off.